Destiny 2 has had a lot of interesting gun variation. You have assault rifles, which had their own meta. We have 140 and 120 hand cannons, which had them, and pulse rifles. Pulse rifles have always been meta because their range. And today we're going to be talking about one group of it. Not 3040s, which had their Desperado meta. Not 540s, which were running rampant because they just do a lot and have a high time to kill. We're talking about the middle ground between them that shines in a lot of areas by being the most mid weapons possible. 450. Now to start off with 450s, I'm going to be first talking about the 3-burst 450s, because unlike them, they have a cousin, to say the least. And unlike some of the other exotics to talk about, I'm going to start on Crucible. I know, how surprising. But these things actually thrive in Crucible, and where some of the funnest games I've had of Crucible come from. Now, 450s are very remarkable because they actually have generally decent stability and above average range, meaning you're going to be taking fights against mid-range weapons too. Hand cannons, scout rifles are more long range, so you may struggle against them if they have a damage perk, but you can generally win most of them. And most 450s have decent range, so you're going to be a dueling wizard. And especially with some of the weapons I'll be going over, there are certain better ones, especially in the 3-burst over the 4-burst, but this is all personal thing, so. I'm going to start with talking about the 2 exotics, 450 3-burst. Outbreak Perfected is really consistent. It has headshots create the nanite swarms, which affects others. You pair that with chromatic fire, you can practically kill groups very fast. And it is so stable, and it feels so smooth, especially when you get the kills. This feels more... And damage boosts they aren't bad for these weapons. They really more so help their time to kill. It's not like 3090s where an Outbreak helps, because Outbreak, when someone's affected by nanites, they take more damage. So getting headshots will automatically buff you anyways. So chain kills with this are really easy, but not as good as the next one I'm about to talk about, which is Bad Juju. Now, out of the 2, aka Outbreak and Bad Juju, Outbreak is more of a 3v3 because it very much hurts against penalizing people who move up, compared to Bad Juju, which is a 6's machine because it has the chaining capabilities of free damage and free health. So it's a trade-off. But I'm personally a fan of Bad Juju. I love the fact of damage and ammo on kill. Plus, since I run Devour, I get health back, so I get a bunch of benefits on kill. So, that's generally the way I play. But the damage actually helps, because Bad Juju has a ramp up with it. After every kill, you get more damage. So if you can get you can start stringing together kills, which is a lot easier in 6's, like the Eruption game mode's going on Iron Banner. You can start getting more and more 2 bursts rather than 3 bursts that most of these weapons generally get. And then we get to the last exotic 450, Revision 0. Now, Revision 0 is a 4-burst. This is the odd one out of it. 4-burst pulse rifles, to me, they don't feel the best. Okay, they are powerful. They are probably even more powerful than the 3-burst. I just don't like how they don't feel as stable as the other 450s, so I'm not a fan of them. Revision 0 has the funny turns it into a mini sniper on a certain amount of headshots to get precision damage. Which, yes, it can work in your favor, but you also have to survive long enough to get the headshot damage, in which you have to be very consistent with headshots, which with flinching nowadays is not going to be the most consistent thing. So, yeah. But the difference is, unlike most other variations, the purples of 450s are actually really good. Now, a lot of the purples are generally, could possibly even be better than the yellow variants. Granted, yellows are very, like, tuned into what they want to do, while purples you can be very broad with. For example, the Insidious from the Vow raid was meta at one point, is not meta. I wouldn't say it isn't meta, I guess. It's just kind of, like, fallen out. Then you have Nightshade, which is, yes, while it's still Sunset, it is still getting random rolls every few weeks, so if you can only get one of them, you could get a really good roll on it. And then you have Battle Scar, which is a personal favorite, but it bounces up a lot when you fire it. This is probably the least stable, but it has a nice feel to it. Plus, it can roll with Kill Clip, so you can get the extra damage. It's multi-kill clip instead of normal kill clip. Then you have Agma, which I almost forgot about when recording. Agma is a energy one, so that puts it, because it's a Amlon pulse rifle. Amlon pulse rifles are the strangest out of all of them, because they actually do not do much damage in PvE, which I'll get to in a sec when I go over the PvP. So in PvP it's fine, but not my favorite. But so purples are generally really good though. They're very fun to use, especially like Nightshade. So if you haven't picked up a 450 in Crucible in a while, try it out. You're gonna have a lot of fun, and it's just, they feels like nice. They feel smooth, especially on controller, which is what I mainly play on. But now we gotta get to the second part, PvE. Now, in PvE compared to PvP, these weapons are a lot weaker. Granted, they aren't like the weakest thing, because, you know, exotics, but each of them kind of fill more of like a niche rather than like being a broadly decent weapon. Because yes, they're still long-range weapons, but each of them have like a special thing, especially the exotics, that they just like synergize in, which exotics should be, which is fine. But they aren't really any meta-defining, at least not anymore. To start off with Bad Juju, Bad Juju is a chain weapon. You kill a bunch of thralls, you get a bunch of energy back. I don't think it's limited. Plus the perk that gives you ammo and super energy. You know, keep chain going, damage, ammo, super energy, blah blah blah. Bad Juju is just a chain weapon. Outbreak Perfected is a PvE boss damage, which is weird because you'd think, man, primary weapon shouldn't be really used for boss damage, but it does that with the Catalyst. It's also decent at add to clear, but it's not as good as Bad Juju, because Bad Juju, you just keep firing and firing, where this, you kill one, and it slowly takes out everyone else. And then we have Revision Zero. Now, Revision Zero actually has a use, because I might not be a fan of it, but, you know, it's not that bad in Crucible if you're decent with it, but I'm just not a fan of it. But it has anti-barrier. Thus, it is actually worth using, especially if you need a barrier weapon. But, you know, scout rifles generally just do what they do better. And especially whatever anti-barrier it is, it's generally a lot more convenient than pulling out a certain one exotic for it, which, it's one of those, yeah, I like pulse rifles. But I don't think that, like, pulses, because okay, pulses are really weak. It took like 3 bursts to kill one, like, orange bar, like, acolyte in the dungeon. I don't have any footage of it, but you gotta take my word on it. Like, it's weak. It should not take 3 bars. At full, by the way, this was with a full adrenaline junkie charge. These are just, they fall off. SMGs just do what they do better, just damage-wise in PvE. And if you really want a long range, pull out a scout rifle. But they're fun, so they serve their use. Alright, that's the end of it. Hit the like, comment, subscribe. You guys know what to do. Next video may be another Destiny video or another fun gameplay video. I haven't gotten that far. Alright, peace.